is all about setting up using the Cursor AI tool with Koti. I will guide you through getting Cursor up and running on your local machine. So how it can help you develop your project more effectively on the Koti chain. I'll even share some of my personal Cursor settings. And of course, I'm not doing this alone. I'm joined by some amazing co-hosts and fellow engineers, Devi, Percival, and Rafael. Let me start by introducing Devi, an engineer at stay.coti.io. Devi, the mic is yours.
Okay, thanks, Upendra. So, hello everyone. My name is Davi. I'm engineer at stay.codi.io. I'm based in Brazil. I'm been in tech for quite a while. Started back in 2000 and got into blockchain around 2016, mostly working with EVM networks. These days at Cody, I'm focused on helping people get onboarded with the help of the AI tools and also working with some, let's say, cool privacy focused stuff. So yeah, thanks for having me today, Upendra.
Thank you, Ravi. Now, next, our fellow co-host, Percival. Percival, mic is yours.
Hello, thank you, Pendra. Hello, everyone. I'm Percival Lucina, developer relations engineer at stay.codi.io. I'm also from Brazil. I have been in the blockchain space since 2016, working on enterprise blockchain networks. I wear different hats as a researcher, manager, and also as a software engineer. It's a pleasure to be working with the builders engineering team from stay.coti.io team. And I'm also in this live stream helping people answering questions about the Coti blockchain network. Thanks, Upender. And I
Thank
think
you,
now it's
Percival.
half.
Yeah, it's Rafa.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Well, hello everyone. I'm a developer of relationships, also in stay.codi.io, and I'm a blockchain expert. I'm also a consultant in blockchain. I'm so happy to be here. Any questions you have, I'll be answering you in the chat. Any question you have. So thank you, Pendra.
Thank you, Rafa. So, guys, today we're going to study about a new tool, which is a very amazing AI tool. And as per the survey of 2025, uh, most of the developer who is using editor tool, Cursor is most loved one. And if we gonna be start using Cursor, first thing comes in mind how to set up that, and that's really easy. So let me just share the screen to show you how can you set up Cursor on your local machine. So you just need to open the cursor.com website, and it gives the first button, which is download for whatever, like if you are using Windows, it will give you the downloading button for the Windows. If you are using Linux, it will give you for the Linux. And as I'm using my Mac, it gives you a simple button through which you download it. And they're gonna be a after downloadation, when you are going to click that, it will easily install on your local machine. It will not take any hassle. But if we go deeper into that and try to check like what else it provides, we can also check the feature. Like before using this tool, if you want to know what all features is this provides, in this website you can easily check. Like if we go to the features, it has components on the chat. Like it's gonna be a simple id, just like VS Code, which is a code editor for your local machine, in which it has inbuilt the AI tool through which you can ask that AI tool to make changes, create something for you, anything you want. So you can also learn from their features. But as we are going to delve into it, go deeper into it, so we're going to be downloading. And as you know, there's a simple downloading click button. When you click that, it's gonna be download in your local machine. As you can see, it is downloading in your local machine. And if I wanna show you, I have already downloaded that. So I'll going to open my cursor and I'll be sharing the screen with you guys here. Yeah. So when the cursor going to be downloaded in your PC, it will be look something like that. I hope it is visible to you guys. And when you open this cursor, you can see three things initially. You can open a folder or open your own project. You can clone something from the Git repository, or you can get it from the terminal. So as you can see, I have created so many demos. It also giving me the history of my projects which I have created. So the initial step gonna be you can create or you can open a simple project. So in that case, if you don't have any project in your local machine, you can also use this it's AI tool which can create a project for you. So if for that, let's just open a folder, uh, open a blank folder. Let me just open a blank folder. I'm creating a simple blank folder, let's say demo 8. If it is visible, can you confirm, guys?
Yeah, it's visible for me.
Yes.
Okay. So I have created a simple blank folder. And if I don't have, I'm just a beginner, I don't have knowledge how to create a project or how to code a project, what is the folder structure and all. So for in that case, what you can do, this is a code editor, but you don't have any project, you can create a simple folder as we used to do with the VS Code. Initially when we used to use VS Code, what we need to do, we're gonna be creating a folder, or like let's say if you are creating a React app, you're going to put a command in a command line, and then it creates a folder for you. Or you gonna be creating a simple folder in your local machine and then create a code file, start with the code file, or you package.json file, and then start creating your building your project in that. Similarly, it is I must say it's a clone of VS Code. As you can see, it looks exactly like VS Code because VS Code is a open source software, and Cursor just used this code and integrated the AI tool in it. So it looks simply like a VS Code. What we can do, we can also create a folder here, like we can create a package.json file as we used to, and start building our project here. Or if you are new in development, you can ask this AI chat here, and it will do everything for you. We will do that, but before that we will go in depth into the, just give a second. Sorry guys, if I'm visible, my wire just plugged off. Yeah. So before going that, we are going to check the settings of that. So here you can easily check, it provides you the option of AI agents you can use. First and the most important setting here, whatever you gonna be doing with your chat box. So this is simple a chat box, it gonna do whatever you tell this AI tool to do. But in this setting, you can select what this chat box do. First one is agent. It is a complete agent which takes information from you, takes command from you, and operate on that command. Second one is ask. When you select the ask, it will not do anything with your code. It will simply work with the chat gpt. As chat gpt, it will give you the information. You can ask what this code do. You can ask this chat box to create some a file of code, but it will not gonna change these files or make any changes with in those file. So to give you a complete example, what we can do. And third thing is manually you can use it manually. It will simply takes you need to put everything manually here, like what are the AI tools, what are the models you're gonna be using here. It will not take like in the agent and ask mode, it will select the agent LLM tool from itself. But when you select manual, it will not take anything from you, like anything from itself. Everything you need to be put there. But the most used option here is the agent. And if you are a beginner, I'll suggest you guys go with the agent, because agent will create the folder structure, make changes in the file on behalf of you. You not need to do anything. You need to just give the commands or prompts, it will do and everything for you. But in the agent there are two sections, two settings. One is auto. So if you select the so when it is going to be in auto mode, whatever changes gonna be there, agent will do itself. You don't need to be run that command. Like if you're going to give the prompt and agents gives you the file, like these are the folder structures and these are the files, it will ask you to, if you want to make these changes, you want to make save these files. But if you are in the auto mode, it will not ask you, it will not ask all time permissions. It will do it by themselves. So if you are a beginner, again select this auto, because giving permission for each and every code changes and files may be overwhelming for you. If you are a experienced developer, you can choose manual mode, because you can check what changes it is making, and then you can select and give permission on behalf of that if you want to make that changes. But if you're a beginner, you're gonna be have a very little idea what's happening, so you don't want to be put extra effort to selecting and accepting all the files and all. So this is a very beginner friendly setting. And there are also so many things here. Let's select, you just type at the rate. When you type at the rate, it asks you whatever you want to do with. Like you can also provide a documentation, you can provide a snippet of code, you can provide a GitHub link, you know there are cursor rules, whatever. And there is a web option. When you want cursor to take some information from a link, web link, you can just put at the rate and then the link of that documentation and all which is present on the browser, and it will fetch all the information from that and then behave regarding that. So these rules can be selected from here also. So if we go in depth in the cursor rules, here we can go into the cursor setting. So there is all the important setting for the cursor. Like there are some one section for the general settings, in which you can select the appearance, which is same as VS Code. But there is a privacy mode. So when you enable that, what cursor says, it will not take your code for the training purpose of this its tool or AI model, or your code or your data gonna be protected on your device only, and whatever gonna be there, it's encrypted. So no one can use your data. Cursor is not going to use your data. But if you get this permission, cursor permission, so you can also disable it, so cursor can use this for the training of their tool. So these are the general setting, but the most important setting are the features. If we move to the cursor features, as you can see, there is a chat setting. As I already told you, you can select it agent, ask, manual. Okay. And in this also it opens the auto setting, like everything, all the changes gonna be happen itself. Cursor don't need you to give permission all the time. You can get all these, you can go and check all these settings. But for the beginner, I'll suggest just go with the auto. And there is also a setting called code based indexing. You can come and check, like if you are making some progress with your code, and you can also come and check if your all the files are indexed properly. If not, you can resync, uh, click on the resync button. It will then index all the, which means like the code base gonna, if code base going to be bigger, uh, to make sure all cursor had idea context of all the code, you need to come and click on this button. Sometimes cursor don't index all the files, but when you click it, it's gonna index 100% of your code. Like in my case it's 100% because I don't have any code for now. And there is also very important setting, it's called docs. So in this you can maintain a documentation which you gonna be using with your code. Like you can use for the general cases, like if you are using, let's say you, if you are working with the solidity as a you create dApps on the solidity, so you're gonna be having information, you're gonna be needing information of ether.js, as well as solidity library like openzeppelin and all. In that case, if you are frequently using some libraries or some documentation, you can add that link here. So when you're gonna be adding links here, cursor gonna be fetching all the information of that documentation of that libraries, and you can directly mention in the chat box. Like I have maintained the Koti, I have maintained a link of Koti blockchain, in which I have given the GitHub link, repository link of the Koti examples. So if I going to, in the chat, I can easily go to the documentation and I can mention while creating this, making changes in my code, you can use this documentation. So you can mention these documentation while doing the code. So it will make AI development very handy. So there are also some more settings, there are, it is a editor setting, and there it has a terminal setting. These are similar with as VS Code. And then after the feature, if we go to the models, it is very important. And as you can see, the list of all the models AI LLM model cursor supports, you can select between them which one you want your AI to use. Like it is automatically selected these like Claude 3.5, Claude 3.7. The latest of the Claude's model is 3.7. I think that's the strongest one. But when things Claude 3.7's tokens are not used and the speed is slow, it moves to the 3.5. And also Gemini and ChatGPT 4.0. So all these models are provided by Cursor. If you don't if you think only Claude works for you, simply deselect all these things. Okay, so you can choose the models you want to use with your development. Or if you have selected so many models like I have, what agent do, it simply automatically select from and choose as per of the chat, and as per of the availability and the speed of the models. And like if you want something in which your agent thinks, which needs thinking more thinking process and more uh, coding information, it may shift to the Sonnet. And if you want some text, like if you want to chat, it may shift to the chat gpt, gpt 4.1. So it switches according to the need. But if you strongly wants, like if you are going to hard code that and you think Sonnet 3.7 is going to work for you, is best for you, so you can choose that. And then there is also a section of open AI keys. So there are like here you can also provide API keys of different models. Like you don't have the premium version of Cursor, but if you have premium API key access of Anthropic, so you can select or add the key here and ask Cursor to use this API key only and use this model only. So you can manually add your key here also. So this is also a very great setting of the cursor, and I think for the beginner you don't need to touch it here, but for the advanced developer these settings are going to be very useful, maybe because when agent work on a auto mode, it may be try to you know switches from one model to another according to its free information, but as a maybe advanced coder, like whatever information you need is perfect for one model, so you can stick to one model. And
Great, Upendra. Yeah, sorry. When we talk to the agent, we are using all the models in the settings, or cursor only choose one for the answer of my prompt.
yeah, so what happens here, cursor, like if we have selected given option of more than one, so cursor gonna be switching between them according to the need. If it thinks that your query fits better with one model, it's going to be switched with that. But if you select only one, like you have deselected all and you have selected only Claude 3.7, then cursor don't have the option. It's going to be answer with using Claude 3.7. And maybe you ask a question which is not very technical and simple chat, so maybe GPT 4.1 was best for that. So in that case, if cursor had option to choose between them, then cursor gonna be switching between uh, GPT 4.1 if it thinks that it's just a chat and information I need to provide. So I think these are the models cursor provides, and you can select between them. And there is also a new feature which is called rules. So this is not a new feature cursor has, but now it has improved this feature, in which so initially it was dot cursor file. Now it's changed to MDC file. So there is a section provided on the browser called documentary, cursor documentary. What uh, what is there, like anyone, if someone is creating some program on Next.js and he think these are the things I want my AI agent to take care of, like he thinks like he want particular version of use particular version only in the Next.js development. His daily work is on the Next.js and he want to use only particular version of that libraries, so he can create a rule file and mention all those things. So if we go, let me share the documentary. So cursor. Okay, I think my screen is not shared.
Yeah, no, we supposed to see a prompt.
No, I can see.
Yeah, so there is a uh, documentary of the cursor, sorry, directory of the cursor, in which a person can come and pick rules from here. Like people come and post their rules in that. Someone thinks like they have created a rule for they have created have experience in the Next.js and they create a rule. So the cursor, they can use their rules, these rules in their project, and uh, directly implement that rule there. So if you go from the beginning here, what people in the directory, what people generally post, they post rules as well as MCP server. Okay, so you can easily come and use the MCP server rules here or MCP server files here, as well as rule for the particular technology. Like someone used to you know uh, work with the TypeScript. So what you can do, there are so many fellow developers who have provided rules here. You can open that. So in this rule file, they have mentioned like behave like a senior front-end developer, and yeah, which has expertise in React, Next.js, and JavaScript. And they have provided like while UI UX you use Tailwind and sad Cyan, Radix. Okay, all the coding environment they need to. So what this do, while creating a rule, let's just create a rule.
So basically, it's like give a bunch of context, right,
Yeah, a
to the
kind of
AI.
context.
Okay.
So a kind of context, and while asking anything to the AI agent to create any file or any feature, a person need to have information, and a person need AI agent have information what they strictly want. Like they can mention here like don't use, like when I was creating on the Koti, I asked clearly mentioned that don't use wagme, use just web3 model. Or they can like creating front end, they can say like don't use React, create React.js app, just use wit. So you can clearly mention that, then it's going to be helpful for the like agent. They're gonna be have context like what exactly the user want. Because if if vaguely you say like create a front end, and I want to transfer some code from here to there, they may be confused like whether they use React JS or Next.js, or they use JavaScript or TypeScript. And for the front end library, if they're going to be using Tailwind, so you will not get the exact result what you want. For the beginner, maybe they don't have that much knowledge, so they can go with the flow. I think rules are not for the beginners, they are for some experienced guy. Because beginner don't have priorities like what libraries they just want to create. What they want is just like AI agent go and create their feature. So but if you're going to be a advanced developer, or you're gonna have some experience, and then you start working on some code base, what libraries you are using in that code base, and what exactly you want, and what version of libraries you going to need. You can put that information in the rule. And while creating it, let me just move to the cursor. If you can see, while asking a agent, you can ask here. It also asks you code docs, and you can also mention the rule. I don't have rule here, but in the cursor folder, if you have some rules, you can mention directly here, and it will first go through the rules before creating anything for you. Okay, so these are the settings, and we're going to be I'll also show you how you can use rule in the demo. And then there is a MCP server section, so you can also add a MCP server as I have shown in the directory. You can go take it from the directory and use it here. And these all are the important setting, I guess, for the you know for the cursor. Let's just jump in and try to create something on the Kodi. Let's just check if you it can create a simple application on the Koti. So what I gonna be doing, I will be giving a simple prompt. And I want to show you guys, before giving this prompt to the directly this prompt, you need to put some context. Then this prompt gonna be helping you properly. I'll start with a simple prompt, like any beginner can come and give it and try to see if it works here. So what we can do here, I can ask this chat AI agent uh, in this directory, create a simple React app that connects to the MetaMask and transfer native Qt testnet token to the recipient address. Is just a simple prompt, and let's just see if like cursor is able to do what we want. So as you can see, yeah, you can see cursor just set up a project for you using a command called white latest. So create white latest. It has set up a initial program for you, and after doing that it is doing npm install and npm run dev, and then it's going to import some libraries. First one is to connect metamask and then some styling libraries. So let's just check. And it also gives the information of coti testnet. Yeah, I think that's going, it is doing something great, like it has fetched the information of coti testnet. But as you can see, this is not the chain id of coti testnet. I can see that. As it is in auto mode, it is creating a file by themselves. You don't need to be accept in every situation. It is just creating and adding code in your file. Maybe in the last you can accept all the changes, but when it will be in manual mode, you need to accept in all the situation in a simple code change. So let's just wait for this.
Yes, Upendra, you can see that if you add some documentation from Cody, you might find the right parameters on the documentation to create the connection settings to
Yeah,
testnet.
like I think that's why I just gave him a simple prompt without a very simple prompt with no context and all. And then let's just check how cursor, how strong it is and how trained it is, because we continuously are developing on the Qt using the cursor. Maybe it has some information. I'm just trying to check, and after that I'll try to give some information. I'll try to give some context in another project and check how it works there. So but like I was showing you with the automatic setting, it is updating all the file by itself. You don't need to accept all the time. you know if this setting was not in the automatic mode, it was in the manual mode, what it need to be do, like in initially when it runs the terminal command, you need to accept all these commands. And for the beginner it may be quite overwhelming. So for the beginner, it is right thing to do, run using auto mode. If we can also open terminal from here. So let's see. Great. I created React application that allow user to connect their MetaMask wallet, switch Koti testnet, Koti token balance, and all. So it says it has done all these things.
And the agent you are using is automatically as well. You're not choosing Claude or
Yeah.
Gemini, or it's automatically selecting the agent for
Yes.
you.
Because I put it on auto mode, and we can also make agent to select one. Like there is a if you can see, there is a edit icon here. As we fix with auto run, auto fix error, we have chosen this setting, and the model is select, we have selected auto select. But if we switch this off and I select Claude 3.7 Sonnet. So in that case, it will, you know, only use Claude 3.7. So you can do all those settings. So now npm run dev, it says us to run npm run dev command, and let's just open this link. Let me say, let me open this in the browser and then share with you guys. Yeah, it has created something. Let's just, yeah, so as you can see, it has created a UI for us. It don't looks great, but if we connect, click on the connect metamask, it opens me the metamask. I guess you guys are unable to see that, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Let me share my whole screen. So it has opened my metamask. Let me refresh that and try to connect metamask. So it says it's already given, my metamask tries to connect. Let's just open the metamask first. Yeah, so it opens. And when we approve that, it gives us error chain id written by the customer network doesn't match. So what happening here, it is trying to connect to the metamask, but it gives the error like the chain id is not matching. And it somehow bypass this and automatically pick that, but it is not able to fetch my balance just because we didn't provide the correct context here to our cursor. And in that, so cursor was not able to pick the correct chain id, and it was not able to create the perfect app for us in which we are going to connect our app and try to send some query to another address. So to have that context, like this Koti blockchain is a new blockchain, maybe you don't have proper context. You are a beginner, you don't know to provide proper context, like you never gone through the documentation, how to find information from the documentation, and maybe to provide the proper context, you need to go to the GitHub. So if you don't have such information, what we can do, there is a AI agent provided by Koti too. So if you go to the Koti doc, so you can also go to the documentation and find out the information and fetch, provide to our agent. You can also provide a complete documentation to the agent, but maybe that's gonna be too much for that, and it gonna be, use your most of the credit, which you get free credits. So what we can do, we can also provide the same prompt here also, like the prompt provided in the we have we can also provide the same prompt we have provided to our agent. And let's check, is just Koti provides ask AI. What it do, Koti has trained it with the Koti's information, like the development on the Koti. It has provided all the documentation information and trained this AI ask AI tool, AI agent. and also with the GitHub repositories. So it has all information. Maybe you are a beginner, you don't know how to find these information from the GitHub or the documentation, but this AI can help you with that. You can just put your query and it can fetch all this information from the documentation and the GitHub and give to you. Okay, I paste the wrong one. Yeah, so this was the prompt we have provided to our cursor. Let's just ask same thing to our Coti AI, and let's wait how much data, how much information it can provide us.
We can also use Cody AI just to create some prompts, right? Like, hey, Cody AI, please
Yeah,
create a Ether client to connect to Cody mainnet or Cody testnet.
yeah, it has helped me a lot. Like, as you can see, it is providing me the complete steps you can follow and all the information you're going to, your MetaMask needs. As you can see, to transfer native test token, you need to set up a MetaMask. First of all, you need to have a MetaMask wallet, as I already have here. Then you need to have test COTI funds, like I have missed telling you guys. But this AI agent has, recall me, you need to have COTI testnet token. If you want to transfer some token to someone else, you initially need to have token in your wallet. And third, you need to connect with the EtherJS. So all the steps has been provided here. So now, if we move here, it also provides you the functionality to transfer native, and it also provide you the link of the faucet from where you can get the test token fund. If you click on that, so initially without this agent, what you need to do, you need to find all these links, all this information manually by the documentation, through the documentation or asking on the Discord and all. But this agent provides you all the information at one place, which makes your Koti deployment very Koti development very easy. So as you click here, it sends you to the Discord. When you open the Discord, here it says you can ask for the testnet token. You just need to add testnet and your address. Let's just do that. I can ask, this is my address. I can ask testnet and this address. Let's check if we can get some test token of the Koti. Yeah, so it has provided me test 10 test token. I can go here and check. I initially has 4 and now I have 14 Koti. So this works. Like, if you are going to work with any blockchain, I also work with the Polkadot. They also provide this Ask AI. You can ask information from that. So this is the relevant information maybe we need for now to create our to create connection with the MetaMask. So what we can do, we can also go and fed this information to our current project, or we can initial with a great prompt with you know proper proper add information. If we can also provide this context in our initial project, so I gonna do that. Not just going to try to change in this project. I will be opening another one, start with a great prompt from initial, from starting, and let's see if it can provide or can produce a simple app with just a prompt. Okay, so what we can do, let me just share my cursor.
Upendra, a question regarding that.
Yeah,
If I want, I can later convert that prompt into a role, right? And then create a role specifically for coding. And then when I want to start coding something that has references to the coding, I can select that role, and then the AI will know exactly like the chain ID and all the other information, right?
Exactly, exactly. And with this demo, we gonna be creating rule first, and then we also gonna be using that rule in another project to see like how efficient it is to use rules. So as you can see my screen, cursor screen, we are going to create another project, not this one. So we'll open another folder here, create new one. Let's say demo 9. Open here. Okay, so now I'm adding a proper prompt here. If you can see my cursor,
Yeah, we can see the cursor right now.
Yes. Yeah.
so on the cursor with the previous command prompt, I'm adding some context from the COTI. I have copied from the COTI AI. Now let's try to do with this prompt. Like we have a not great prompt, but we have improved our prompt, and with the improved prompt, let's just check if it is able to create a proper application which works properly. So again, as you can see, now it is using create react app with the TypeScript. Okay, so as you can see, like we have changed from LLM model to the Sonnet 3.7. Initially, it was using 3.5, which was uh, not that good. 3.7 is that good. So it has selected create React app this time. Last time, 3.5 has used Wit. So different model is preferring the same prompt with the different front end frameworks. So what it has done, yeah, so it has created another folder. In that it has created our app here, and you can see now this is the app.tsx file, the main file of your front end, in which the main logics of the code gonna be held. It is also creating the component. So wallet connect component. And it seems like 3.7 is also faster than 3.5. So cursor provides you a one-stop solution where you can play with different models, and you can choose which model works for you best.
Well, what AI model could you recommend, Opendra, to use?
Yeah, so the best model for the coder, if you are want to code something or create some feature, I think the best model for now is a Claude 3.7.
From cloud, right?
But it has some limitation while it is creating our code. Let's just check out like how much I have used, how much token I have used. So let me just open that.
And as you mentioned, Upendra, if you have some tokens from another tool, like from Google or from ChatGPT, you can add that on the settings, right? So you don't
Yeah,
have
definitely.
this limitation of the number of tokens.
Yeah, that's the advantage of cursor. Like you don't need to be stop coding, or you don't need to move your files. It's just because your daily limit has stopped, it moves you to the another version. Maybe if you have your tokens of Claude has stopped, you can move to the uh, GPT-4. It moves with it moves automatically, so you don't need to stop building on that project. With the chat gpt, what happens, or with the if we go to use Claude AI, we for the day, if limits has over, we need to stop coding with that project. Or with the chat gpt, we need to change our chat, which the new chat don't have context what we are building initially. But Claude all manage this here with because it provides all the LLM and it ships you. So if I'm also gonna show you how much I have used for now. So this is my uses. You can see I'm currently on the pro trial. When you create your account on the cursor for the 2 week, you get pro trial, and I have used, I guess, for 7 days, initially 7 days. Now I have 8 days left, and in the pro trial, we get premium model a quota for 150 uh, 150 requests, I guess. And Claude, sorry, Cursor is handling it very well, because I'm using this cursor from continuously 4 5 days. As you can see, I am creating demo 9 initially. I also created some other demos, but still my premium model has not finished, because cursor shifts me it when I use it in auto mode. It checks if this request needs this premium model or not. If it don't read the premium model, it shifts to me to the mini version. As you can see, it is using ChatGPT 4o mini most of, and cursor is small most of time. My all the limits has been finished here, quota, but my premium model is still there. When I itself shifts to the, like, I just shifted to the Claude 3.7, I manually shift to the premium version, then it starts working with that and consuming most of that.
Yeah, will you recommend to upgrade to Pro? Like, will we we will improve like the quality of code, and AI will automatically like autocomplete your code, or what kind of features a Pro account in Cursor can provide?
So as I have a development background, so from that, a tool which is directly implemented with my editor is best. So there are three right now. One is Cursor, second one is Windsurf. I think next time we live stream we discuss about the Windsurf, the advantage of Windsurf and all. And third one is Zen. So these three tools are currently in the market, and they, I think, you know AI tool in the code editor is the best, because you cannot in the browser based, if the project get bigger, it may be difficult to manage, and it may be not that efficient. But that's why I prefer that. But between the Cursor, Windsurf, and the Zen, uh, it depends how it feels like. Gonna be providing different features, different models, maybe the pricing gonna be different. So it depends user to user, like. So that's why I suggest you, I'm also playing with that. Like, currently I'm playing with the Cursor, then I'm going to be doing with the Windsurf, and then the another one. And when then I gonna be finding out which works for me. And while using all these three features or three IDE, one thing is very efficient, I guess. One project which I was building with the Cursor is, just because it's on my local, I can also open it on the Windsurf. Like, when the limits over on the Cursor, we can move to the Windsurf, and then with other tools. So I don't think purchasing the premium version is, if you don't have high uses, and your all the limits are, you can play with them for long time, and then you are gonna be finding out which is best for you, and then you need to purchase that. I don't think initially you just jumping with one AI tool is a good idea. Just play with all them. They gives you enough limits to use, and you can also shift from one to another. You can create a complete project using them. And then if you find that one is perfect for you, and now you don't want to hustle from one tool to another, you want to stick with one, because we become comfortable with one. So then you can choose and and go for premium of one version. So as we can see, it has created our app. Now let's just check. So it gives us the prompt, sorry, command. We need to put it in the terminal. So what the command it gives, cd coti wallet and npm start, because it has created simple react app this time. So it says like this port is used because we have, okay, we got some error here. So we can ask this error directly to our agent.
Yeah. In this case, there might be another app running from a previous project on that
Yeah,
port.
so it has shifted the port, but the error is coming from the,
It's like a type of
yeah.
the
Yeah, the provider. And it's not using Kodi as the provider, it's using the standard Ethereum.
Yeah, just because
And that's something that you need to add to your prompts, right? So they make sure that they are using the Kodi
yeah,
network.
in the initial prompt we just provided the COTI testnet information, not the the libraries we it needs to take, and now it works. So let me share the screen with you guys. So as you can see, and let's just try to use that. When we click on the connect to MetaMask, let's check. Yeah, it has connected properly now, because we have provided the context, and it was able to fetch our balance too. And now let's just try to transfer some balance from one account to another. So we are connected with our first account. Now let's just try to transfer to this account, and as you can see, it don't has any COTI for now. And just try to transfer one COTI. So it says okay, we are transferring one COTI and the fees is 0.1 COTI, and it takes our account to account 2. So that's correct. And as you can see, the transaction is in processing, and it also provided us the explorer link, because we have given it the explorer link in our context. So it was able to provide us the explorer link, and when we click on the explorer, it takes us to the explorer, and you can check we have transferred one COTI from this address to this address. And if we check in the MetaMask, now this address too also has one COTI. We can also check on the explorer. If we open this address, it shows the transaction was successful 35 seconds ago, and it has transferred one COTI here. So we have created two apps. One, this one was previous one. Okay, yeah, this one is new one. So this one was using the previous our port, that's why it shifted to the port 3001. But and we have chosen the same AI tool cursor, but our simple slight change of prompt has made the wonder. Okay, now let's just try to open the cursor. and try to do some more changes, and you trying to find out more feature of the cursor, like the documentation. If we don't provide the context and we just provide the right documentation, if it gonna be providing us the same result. So
Yeah,
if we see, we have got all this information here.
yeah. That AI of Cody works more like like AI assistant more than code assistant AI. So I mean, Cody AI agent works just to provide any information you want from like network or like maybe for libraries of the smart contracts too. And I mean, also any information from Cody technical stuff, also about, I don't know, maybe how to connect to testnet to mainnet. And, it works. It works just to provide the info, all right? Or also if you want to build like a farm or whatever.
Yeah, that's correct. And if we try creating another app which just using the as we we are going to use all the features of the cursor for now. So in
Yeah.
this part I gonna be using the documentation feature and see if it can provide us the correct result. So if I create a new demo, and this is gonna be demo 10. Now what we're gonna be doing, as I have also shown you, I already have a documentation added here, but what you can do here, you can go to the cursor setting, and there is a feature. Yeah, there's a feature called docs. You can add documentation here. So initially what documentation I had, let me show you. Okay, if it provides, it is not. Okay, it's just asking me to update the name. Okay, what we can do, we can go to the, yeah, so I'm asking, I'm going to provide the COTI documentation here, how how to connect with the app. So I have already added the documentation here, but what you can do, you can also come up with a new documentation. Let me just give you an example. uh, I gonna be finding some documentation of the COTI, like, so there is a GitHub repository in which I search with the COTI AI tool. It gives me the example. So I asked the COTI AI tool, so give me the some COTI example repos. It has provided me one link. Let me just add it here for the example. So you can see this is a GitHub repo link we are trying to add here. COTI TypeScript example. So what we gonna be doing? We can add it here. It also asks me give a name to it so that we can use it in our chat agent. So I can ask it, I can give it name code example. So as you can see, it start indexing it. So what is going to do? Cursor will go and fetch all the information it need from that page or from that link, and now it has indexed successfully. Let's just also check here in the feature. Yeah, we are indexed 100%, and we have two documentation. One is this and one is this. But this time I gonna be asking some better app. So I already have fetched with the Koti onboarding model, in which I also given the link of the same example, in which how a user come and onboard their app on the Koti blockchain. It's just because we know Koti comes with the privacy first. So anyone can come on the Koti and send transaction, make transaction, and build an app in which they're gonna be utilizing the public blockchain features like decentralization, as well as private blockchain feature of privacy. If someone wants to transfer some private data through the public network, so Koti provides that. In that case, what user need to do, user need to onboard itself. If user wants to use the private feature and privacy feature of the Koti blockchain, want to send some private or store some private data on the Koti, he needs to inform the Koti blockchain that he wants to onboard with the privacy feature. And this is the most important step. And we also had a live stream completely on that. Our first live stream on that was done by the Davi. And I gonna be implementing a app which performs the same. So let's just provide a correct prompt here. So what I gonna be doing, I'll use the same previous prompt, as well as I ask it not to transfer. I can initially mention here, you know I can mention the documentation. So I say use this doc and create a simple React app that connects to MetaMask and onboards users when they connected their app, so that they can get their user key to make private transaction on Koti. So let's just check if it is able to do that. I'm also providing this context information because in this documentation we have an example of the onboarding. We don't have the example of contract, MetaMask connection. So we need to provide this information so it can give us a perfect result. Let's just try that. If it can get the information of onboarding from this documentation, or we need to provide some more information. So as this one is building, let me just share some information regarding the rules. So as I shows you the directory, let me share again. Yeah. So as you can see, if you want to add your directly, like if you think like you have created something great and you want to add rules regarding that, like I have created that rule, you can do that. What you need to do, uh, in the rule section, you can come here and submit. For that you need to create the PR, like clone the git repository and create a PR. If that PR gonna be selected, your rules going to be added here. So I wanted to show you is just because all these rules are not created just by us, any developer. It is properly managed by some seasoned developer here. I also created some rules PR. I hope it when it going to be selected, I will share with you guys. But I also created a rule on. I mean, I have also put some rules on the on my GitHub. You can get from that because till now my PR has not been selected, so you cannot see the Koti related rule here. But you can get it from my GitHub repo. Uh, I'll be sharing my GitHub here. Let me just find it out for you guys. So this is my GitHub simple link. So what I have created, I have created a Koti app here. So whenever you need to add some rules in your Koti project, not Koti project, in the cursor project, you just need to add a folder in your root folder. Like I am creating this Koti onboarding app in this root folder. Let me just give you some example here. In this root folder, you need to create a cursor app dot cursor app, and then in that dot cursor folder you need to create another folder called rule. And in this rule folder you need to put some rules, like you can also add more than one rule. Okay, sorry, it has built out of this folder. We can simply move here, as I have also, maybe my cursor is not showing right now, right? I have shared this app. So as you can see in the Koti app folder, guys, can you confirm if my cursor is on the share or
No, we can see only
No.
your repository.
okay? I was creating the folder in the cursor. So it's really simple. Create this folder or a project. In this folder, root folder, just create a dot cursor and then slash rule folder. In this rule, you need to create your files. Like I have created so many rule files here. Uh, Let me. It just shifted me. Okay, no, okay, this one. So in this rules folder I have created these four rules. First is a quick starter rule. If someone just want to create, connect wallet and onboard user. And then if, there is also a rule for the user onboarding using web3 model, and then smart contract interaction, whatever you want to do. I'll also going to polish this, I'm creating here. And then with the updated one, uh, when my PR request gonna be selected, I'll share the link with you guys so you can directly get the rule from this directory. There gonna be a rule in this section, a Koti, Koti integration, Koti wallet integration, and you can directly select that rule and put that rule in your folder. And the method I told you, the putting the rule is similar. In your root, just create a dot cursor folder. In that, create a rules folder and create your file with .mdc. Just let me just open this file. This is a way kind of you can write the rule, but this is not written by me. I have just created a project on the cursor, and using the cursor you can itself create the rule. Cursor helps you creating the rule. I'll show you guys here also. So let's just, first let's just close all these and jump to the cursor. So as you can see, it has created our app. It says as run npm start, and I think if we open the terminal, it says cd coti and then npm start. Yeah, already used by. So if it says like some app is already using this port, you just say yes, it selects to, it moves to the next one, and it has created something. Let's just let me show you. So this is the app. It gives us connect wallet. We can connect to the MetaMask. Okay, it has taken the example from the I guess from the link. And now get AES key. If we click on the get AES key, okay, it is working. It opens the transaction. You need to confirm it, and let's just check. Okay, onboarding process. Okay, done. So it has provided us the AES key. I also didn't expected this, as we have provided the link here. Okay, so I wanted to show you the difference, how it works with the different feature of the cursor, and it works properly. Let me show you again with the cursor what prompt I have shared. So what we have done, we have shared a simple prompt in which we asked to create wallet connection and onboarding feature, and we just provided the previous one context to provide the correct information regarding the testnet. And I don't think it was required that, because this documentation, using this documentation which involves the uh, example of onboarding and all, it has fetched the information. And not only it connected with the MetaMask, it has used, as you can see, web3 model this time. And within a prompt, it has connected our front end app with the web3 model, as well as onboarding feature. So as you have seen, it is working completely fine. And
Really cool. And also, Cursor created a very nice login page with a lot of options, not just MetaMask, but with additional ones. It's
yeah,
really cool to see how to, I mean, get the AS key from your, in that case, your MetaMask wallet.
yeah, like we have also tried different tools, but they didn't provide in a go. It just provided in a go. Is just because of the feature we have added a documentation in the cursor, and cursor gone through the documentation, fetch all the information from that, and within a go it has created that. One thing is missing. It is not providing the coti balance properly. If we try to refresh that, it has connected the kit. So we can ask cursor regarding that. Let's check if it can correct that, and let's play with that. Mhm. Working properly, but not correctly fetching coti balance. Fix it. So let's just check if it can provide us a correct balance. So this was the second feature, which is rule. Sorry, the documentation. As this one is fixing this one is been fixed. We'll also try to, deal with the rules. I'll show you. I'll create another project, demo project. It's gonna be demo project 11, I guess. So why I'm trying these different projects, so I can, clearly show off the features of the cursor with different feature, how it behaves. So it is saying what it says, like it is also making changes in the styling, and you can, like, it gives you in a concise way the changes it is making, not the complete folder here. So you can have some idea like how it is handling your code. Now it is also updating the app.css file. So as this is working, Rafa, as you also had, the tutorial
Yeah,
on the prompt, what do you say? What is your
yeah. Well, the next live stream that is in the next Friday, we're going to talk about how to improve, how to build correctly your prompts, just to get your output as you expect, as the user expect, in depend of the topic, obviously, and depend, of course, of the AA tool. So in this case of Cursor, it's important to say that the rules uh, that you has been explained is like the context that we need to write and that we need to use when we write our prompt, right? For example, there's a many kind of AI tools, but in coding we are focused on the code AI tools, right? Like Cursor, like ChatGPT, like Cloud, like Lovable, like Bolt, and whatever AI tool we choose just to create web apps, to create smart contracts, and to create backend that connect to smart contracts, and to provide info specifically from the blockchain, that also make queries and whatever we want. And well, yeah, I invite you to the next live stream, the Friday. We're gonna talk more about that, and we also uh, gonna make an experiment between simple and boring prompt against a currently and a professional prompt, uh, when we study about prompt engineering from OpenAI and also about from other documentation. But yeah, that's it. That's a good invitation for you guys.
great, great. So what do you think, like how cursor is performing?
Well, Cursor, I mean, Cursor is great. I like Cursor. I usually code with Cursor. I actually pay the pro plan. I upgrade my plan, and it's better than the free plan. Why? Because when you're writing code, I was making an app like a few months ago. When I was creating a service in Nest.js framework, Cursor automatically was completing my service and my controller, right?
Yeah.
Without with the context I was given in the beginning. Like I was importing like the inject, like I was importing like another controller, I was importing a word, I was importing a library from blockchain, and Cursor was completing my code, and I was like, wow, this is working so fine. So that's why I migrated from VS Code to Cursor, and I deleted VS Code. So I really highly recommend Cursor at the moment.
Okay, great, great. So
So
as you
yeah.
can see, like it has provided us with a right balance with the update changes. As you can see, we have a token balance 13.20. So it has provided us balance here, and also provided a refresh balance refresh balance button in case it doubt like the balance is loading late. So it provided us a balance. We can always go and ask to improve this UI, make it more in a light theme, not a darker theme. You can also ask it to create proper responsive website. You can do that, but Cursor can handle it easily. But now we are going to try another feature, and the last one and the most important one and the most new, like everyone who is talking about, as I already shown you. Everyone is posting their directories here, so we can not miss that. So let's just move with another one, another feature. For that, what I gonna be using for now, I'll be using my rule which I have created. Currently it's not present with you guys, but I'll share with you the link when the PR request is accepted. And you can easily get from my GitHub, but I'll suggest you when the PR get accepted, then use it, because they're gonna be so some, if there gonna be some mistakes, they're gonna be raised concern, and then I gonna be updating that PR, then they're gonna be selected. So that's gonna be final one. So that's why I'm not saying or not pasting this link for now with you guys, but I have created this and you can use that. But before that, let me share one more feature, how we can create this MDC, this MDC file, or this rule for our project. So I can show you the example from this project only. So let me just give a second to first show you how you can create this rule. That's really that's really easy, man. As you have a fully developed app here, and you think it's working fine, and you want to note these rules, like you don't want to forget that, and you have gone through so many hurdles and you solved the error, and now you want to create a rule for this app. So what you simply say that there is a feature. When select slash, it gives you generate cursor rule. Generate a rule for uh, COTI testnet, sorry, connection with my front end, and this agent will do the work for you. It will fetch the most important information from here, and gonna create a COTI testnet connection.mdc file. I have used the same rule and created this file, and this one is also creating this MDC file. So the from the new update of the cursor, you need to create file in the .mdc format. Initially, it was different, but that has been scrapped. Now everyone is using this one. So as you can see, it has created this file. Start creating this file, and it automatically created a folder. As I said you, sorry, as I told you, it created a folder. In this, there is a folder of rules, and in this rules, it created COTI testnet connection guide, in which it has provided the information of the testnet. Let me just check all this is. As you can see, it has provided all the information we have used in the context. So now this rule book is providing the proper context with to you guys. So it has provided the testnet context, as well as it has also provided the examples, like how to use web3 model. Yeah, it has provided the example of the web3 model. And then it also provided the feature of how to add Qt network. So it has provided a simple examples which you can use, and then create a app using that rule. So what we'll be doing, we are not going to use the rule I have shared on the GitHub. We can just try simply using this rule and create a app, right? So I'm gonna be copy this rule, control, sorry, command C. And what we can do, we can start another project. Let's create another project called demo 11. Open one with a blank slate, nothing here. So first thing we need to do, create a folder, cursor, then rules. So we have created this first folder, and in this we create a file like coti help. Let's say we can give any name, .mdc. It asks you which type of rule you want to create. So it gives you four options: manual, agent requested, auto, attached, and always. So when you say always, whatever prompt you gonna be giving in the this AI chat box, it will always refer first to this tool. You know, you can see Koti help. It will first go through this rule as a context, and then gonna work on your, sorry. Sorry guys, dry neck. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So when you choose always, it will always choose this as a you, you know as a rule. But we can also go to the manual. In this case, we need to in the prompt we need to provide whenever you want that.
Yeah. Also, we can use like ChatGPT or other AI agents just to create like this rule, because basically it's like a bunch of context, right? And this rule also we can ask to ChatGPT like, hey, please write a rule for cursor just to create a
Yeah.
Kodi Web 2.5 web app, and also gonna retrieve an output with all the instructions for that specific rule, All right. So in this case, Upentra is actually using cursor itself to create that rule. All right. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
basically that.
really useful. Yeah, imagine if you have like a working application. I mean, for example, you start a new thread on the cursor, and you finally get the application working, and you can start asking to create like the instructions that works in that case, and create like that context so I can reuse it in the next time. So really cool.
Yeah.
And because sometimes you have the same errors, right? When I think in previous live stream we were discussing about like using the standard ethers and the coti-ethers, and once you can add it to the context first and create a rule for that, you'll never get that same error again. I thought, and then we can start playing with different contexts depending on the stack that we want to build, right? So really cool.
Yeah. So we what we can do here, as we know, we can also choose manual or always. So there are gonna be different type of rules. Like you can put so many files here, not one. So some rules gonna be used in all. You if you want like some prerequisite like only give proper type of this type of this type of result, and if you want chat box to only write, like it makes changes in the code but only write the proper or in a concise form in the chat results. So you can also put that rules also. You can also choose the language in which your chat agent want to give you the result. So these gonna be the all always rule. You can use them always because you want your chat box to use this rule always. But let's say you are a front end developer and you are using a particular type of forms. So when you are developing some front end and you want to go, you need to put some forms in that component. In that prompt you can use that form rules of forms you have built. So we can also put it manual. So and always, so let's just put it manual and paste. Sorry, we can paste our rule here, but I think I need to copy it from the previous project. Let me just quickly go there and copy that. So if we paste here, now we can, like it is already pasted here, but while giving the prompt we can mention the rule. So when you come here, it asks you the folders. We click here, it takes you the rule. So we have mentioned a rule here. uh, Create a simple React app here which can connect to MetaMask. And so actually I have used the MetaMask rule here because I lost the previous somehow, I didn't save the previous rule. So now I'm using the rule from my GitHub repo I have shared with you guys. So in this, I'll be using only the MetaMask, not the Web3 model, because these rules don't involve that. onboard user. Let me just check what else I have provided in this rules. Yeah, so that he can get AS key. So let's just try this one. So as you can see, it start creating the folders. And I must say, rules are new for now. Uh, but as we have seen the craze, like everyone wants to post in the directory, and people are coming with the great rules. I think they're gonna be useful, very useful for the beginner. Because I just created a very simple rule, which was just created by this tool. But when you going to add much in your rules, and if a pro developer or a senior developer gonna be creating some rule, what he can do, like he knows like a beginner going to make the mistake with the security. So a senior developer can mention in the rule the security things which needs to be take care, and the cases, it needs to be built and tested properly the way it should be tested properly. So the beginner, when they gonna be using this rules from the directory, their apps going to be foolproof, or we can say as some security gonna be there. So that's in that case, I think rules, cursor rules going to be play major part here, and it is still building. Let's just wait for that. And as it's building, let's just check how much our you know limits has been used from the last, because I'm continuously using cloud 3.7. So let's just check the uses. So the previous one was 45. Let's just check. Yeah, so 5 credits of the premium version has been used, because all the prompts I have added from last two demos was in the advanced version. So I wanted to share this information. Still it is using less of your credits. Okay, it has built and run automatically. And as you can see, let me just try to disconnect my MetaMask first. Or what we can do, it is auto it just initially connected my MetaMask, because I had given the permission to this address. So we can disconnect it, but maybe we if we disconnect it now, it will take time to connect from MetaMask. And we can just try it, because it is connected this. And if we can check it is working or not by generating AS key. So if we click on, yeah, it has opened my MetaMask, and it has generated some key. And we can check if it is right or not. Is just because we can go to the explorer, you know, and check if any transaction happens with my wallet right now. So yeah, it is scanning for the new transaction and it shows like no transaction happened right now. Yeah, so which means it is giving me just a dummy data. And if we check the code, it tend is use the ethers.js, sorry, proper libraries to fetch that.
If you click generate AS key, it's gonna retrieve the AS key from the network in case it was already created for that user. And
Yeah.
every time you click on the button, you should get the same result. It shouldn't change.
So what we can do, yeah, it's just giving us the dummy data. Let's just try to solve this using the cursor.
Remember that if it's a call function, it doesn't probably use any of your tokens. And I'm not sure if you're gonna be recorded or not. If they're in order to get the AS key, you needed to do a transaction or only a call function.
So we'll again provide the uh, let's say use coti-ethers. So that's what I was saying, that rules are new and they are still not using that properly as the document worked. But as the rules are growing day by day, everyone is creating some proper rules. If we and these rules which are present here on the directory, they are created by the, or also, properly their PR requests are going to be fetched and you know uh, edited by the senior developers. These rules gonna be developed properly, and then they're gonna be very useful for the beginner developer. Now, as we have provided some context, it is installing the coti-ethers. So maybe this time it's on the correct path. Maybe we need to tell it properly that go to the rule, as I already told it. But again, to go to the that part of the rule and check the code, let's just check if it provides now.
When you are working with MCP servers, you need to tell them uh, uh, to use the MCP server. Otherwise, cursor won't find it.
Let's just check the code if they provide the proper method this time or not. It's, Okay, yeah. So this time, with the prompt, okay, I'm on the cursor, right? Let me see. So now, let me say properly. So this is the new result. It has already been connected with the MetaMask. We know that when we now just try to generate AS key, yeah, maybe this time, yeah, this time it is making a proper transaction. Let's just check if it can provide us a proper AS key. Now it provides us a new private key. If we check any transaction, yeah, it just happened a transaction 11 seconds ago. Yeah, so using the rule, it has a proper context. It didn't get to the proper part of the rule. Maybe not because I made not in the prompt. I didn't put up the right way to use the onboarding. Let's just if we can check the prompts again. So what prompt I has provided? Create a simple React app here with can connect to the MetaMask and onboard users so that he can get AS key. Yeah. So maybe this prompt didn't provided the correct word of onboarding when I provided. Yeah, but it provided with us with a dummy data. In the second prompt, when I just ask it to don't provide dummy data, it's just created the correct result. So as you can see, we have created almost 4 or 5 demos here today with a very simple prompt which just created a app, but that didn't fit well. And then we created a app with using the Ask AI, and it also uh, went well. It just created app in a prompt, and then we moved to the another feature of the cursor. There are two main feature of the cursor, which I say if you are using cursor as a development, you must use. It will 10x your speed of development. And I already shows you when I use the documentation, I have provided the proper document, and it just created the whole app in a go. With just a one prompt, it has created the whole app with the user onboarding and all, and on the Koti. And when I use the rule, it also created is just provided with a dummy data in a prompt in another line. When I said don't provide the dummy data, is created the complete app which provides us the functionality. So these all are the main features which cursor provides. I also show you guys like the uses, how much how cursor efficiently balances the your tokens, because it shifts you to the lower version when think that the the work the user wants, what the user wants is not required that premium version. So it shifts you to different models. That's why it can efficiently balance your uh, you know uh, tokens. So these all are the features of the cursor. Using that setting according to your users, you can 10x your development speed. I have shown all the settings from starting. Let me just stop sharing. Yeah. So I try to share all the setting from the starting, even a beginner can understand. So and I also shared all the features, and also how you can add in the directory and how can you use the directory and all the rules and all. And I think that's enough for today because we have already taken 2 hours. And now I want to pass mic to our co-host if they have anything, any question to ask, or any question we have missed from the comment session today.
No, at the moment about the course of the streaming was great. So, all right. If you have any questions, yeah, then um, you can answer us. You can ask us in the chat. And the next live stream is on Friday, like 2 UTC. It's about prompt engineering, how to create, how to build a correctly a prompt, and how to expect what you want specifically for any topic, and depending of the context and depending of the AI tools. And I don't know, any comments, David, first of all?
No, nothing from my end. Really nice presentation, Pendra. I also learned a little bit more about Cursor. I had some previous experience with windsurf, so it's nice to see the differences in terms of features on Cursor, especially that part that you mentioned about setting the Open API key, for example. If I already have a subscription, I can reuse it and setting the key and use that. And also that part of the prompts, also really cool about the roles that can create that and mentioning that roles to use it as like context to each time that I want to interact with the AI. And really cool, really nice. No questions on my end. So thanks, congrats.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Thanks a lot. Possible any comments from you?
It was an awesome live stream. Congrats, Upendra. I like Cursor a lot. It's my main development tool now. I like exploring the different agents that you can connect, like using Gemini, not only uh, Claude as the main AI, and it has fantastic results as it also you have showed its ability to run the code and find the errors and get very complex contexts, including documentation, GitHub's repositories, and more. MCP server. So it is quite complete tool, right? It provides you lots of power in a single place. I usually call it a Swiss knife because it has everything there, and it's really really cool. Many things to explore there
Yeah.
yet.
And today I just tried to go in depth with all the features, just so that in the upcoming live stream when we move on to other AI tools like windsurf, so I gonna be have a complete, and the viewers gonna be have complete idea what a cursor provides us, so we can have a great comparison with them. So I think that's it for today. And thank you everyone for joining us. And please join in another upcoming live stream. You can get all the information of upcoming live stream and event on the COTI on our page staycoti.io. Just go and check the upcoming live stream, and we'll see you guys in this. Till then, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Stay caught.